Jus Riffin. Tuesday night, 8:30 EST. Know where we be. Jus Riffin. Special guest and tech and talk. A musicology. Jus Riffin. Coming to you live at the same time. Here every week. Jus Riffin. Jump in the room. Let's chop it up. It really ain't that deep. Jus Riffin.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It is another live Tuesday. This is the Jus Riffin Show. We're powered by Rug Radio. I'm one of your co-hosts. I'm one of your hosts, Hefner. My co-host, Cookie Rabinowitz, is in the building with me tonight. As per usual, as always, we're going to be tearing down the house today. Tonight, we got a very, very special guest. Happy to have her on the show tonight. She's all about community building, and just seems like a great person all around. And I'm excited to kind of get into it with her. So we're going to have Daila, right? Did I say that right? Because I'm always like, messing people's names up. But Cookie, I say that right?
I believe
Daila.
Like Dalia.
She said it was confusing, but we're going to figure this. We're going to get it right. How would you say it, cuz? How would you say it?
I would say it Dalia. Like,
Dalia. Yeah, like Dalia. Forget about it, dude. Just punch me out. You introduce.
Yeah, but then I'll trip over other words. At least you get all the other words right. So
yeah.
It's math. Whoever gets the most words right without tripping them up.
We're keeping it right. We're keeping it real here, dude. We're just keeping it real. We're human beings, and it is what it is. We just keeping it moving, bro. As always. It's been a festive week. A lot of things going on. A lot of things happening.
Yeah.
What's been going on with you? I would love an update on your music.
I did something really interesting on Saturday. Like I always, we usually talk on Saturdays a lot, and I'm usually working a double shift at the club. And a radio station, WXPN, they're a non-com station. They're pretty cool. Like they've supported me over the years with my music. They ran this contest. Now, I don't usually like music contests, but I'm about to release some new music, and it's a community thing. Incidentally enough, we had Dalia on the show, the community, leader for Abstract. And so XPN did this community thing where they gave you a 24-hour song challenge. So I knew about it last week, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this thing because, as you know, from, the challenge thing has been a new thing I've been into. Like, through the years, you see these challenges online, this challenge and that challenge, I would be like, oh, what's that nonsense? But lately, I'm just like, if somebody challenges me to something, I'm like, I got to do it. So this was a 24-hour song challenge, and you didn't know what the song topic was until 12 in the afternoon on Saturday. So I literally took off from my double at work, which was absolutely crazy because, I don't really got it going on like that to be taken off from work. But anyway, but I was like, you gotta sometimes you just gotta do what you're supposed to do your calling in life, and not necessarily do what you have to do, but do what you're supposed to do. And I felt like it was, I was supposed to, the timing was good. Like I said, I'm releasing a new music platform. And I thought this would be good because I don't really care about winning or losing the contest because I don't believe music is a sport. But I believe that there'll be eyes on me from being a participant in this contest, whether I win or lose. And that could just help some awareness of my music that I'm putting out. So yeah, the short of it, without rambling on and on, is
all good.
The short of it is I did the song, and I ended up having such a great time because I never did that before. Like I never had somebody tell me, hey, this is a prompt. They called it a prompt, and the prompt was belong. And they said it at 12 in the afternoon, and you had from 12 in the afternoon that day to upload a video of you performing the song to their website that next day. And I did it, and it felt so good to like go from beginning to end in 24 hours, because I don't ever write that way. I just kind of go with the feeling. Like, like one day I might sprinkle, I'll write a verse, the next day I might sprinkle another verse, and then I'll start producing it and sprinkle a little drums, then change the snare pattern a little bit, and I'll just take my time with it. And that's fun too. Like, but it was a cool exercise to be like, no, you just got to hammer this thing out really quick and deal with it. And the result, I just want to say one thing about it. The result was really educational for myself. I learned a lot about myself because I sang it very differently than I sing my normal stuff. And in ways it kind of reminds me, and I'm going to date myself here, but it reminds me of Peter Brady when his voice was changing. You know, like it was very raw and very not perfect, but there was something about it that even though it made me uncomfortable, it was a direction I think I should lean into more, because I think people need more of that. I think people really want transparency, you know? So, I mean, it was honest, and I sang it. It made me cringe a little bit, but it was a good exercise, you know? So
that's good. I mean, you know, you gotta stretch out, and you gotta, you know, your mind imagination, you gotta, you know, do, you know, just mental gymnastics, man. I love it, bro.
yeah. Now, let me tell you. Let me ask you something. How things going up in Hefland?
Hefland is cool, man. Let's see, this week I've been working on some you know, web stuff. One of our good friends built a website for her and her partner, and it's still going. You know, we got the first stage of it done, and so that she wanted to launch her website, and you know, launched it. So happy for her, and she getting a lot of good feedback from it.
Nice.
Which I'm excited, because that's really, you know, what it's about. You know, it's, you know,
Totally.
at the end of it, it's that gratification that you get from doing something, and then people actually appreciating it and saying, you know, giving you props for it. You know, it's like, you know, what we talk about a lot, you know, which is that, not that we need the affirmation, but like that, you know, to hear that people love what we're doing. If it's a song, if it's a beat, if it's something, it's some praise that you're getting, even if it's art. You know, we talk about that a lot. It's not so much about the money, right? Because you're doing it because you love to do it. So for me, it was just one of those things. I think I do that with all my projects, quite honestly, is I always just put my heart into it. I put my love into it, and I do it as if it were for me. So if I'm not going to cut a corner for myself, I'm definitely not doing it for anybody else. And I go that extra mile, because I feel like a lot of people don't. And I feel like, for me, that makes me feel better than looking at the money aspect of it.
100%. You know, I think it helps you with your own stuff too. Like, I think when you do 100% for everything, then when you finally get time to do your own shit, you're just in 100% mode. But if you work somebody else's shit half-assed, when it comes time to working your own shit, it's like you're practicing to be half-assed. I'd rather practice greatness all the time, and even if you fall short, if you're practicing it, when it comes time to doing your own shit, you're in that mode, like you understand, you know.
Yeah.
Although
And
I was just gonna say, sometimes it's tough, because when you're working on other people's stuff, sometimes you're like, shit, I want to be working on my stuff, you know. But
very true. And that leads me to where I was going to go. I mean, I don't even have my website done, because I'm doing work for everybody else, which is fine by me. I'm cool with that, because I'm getting the work. I would put a website up to get more work, but I'm like, you know, going. So, but I do want to get a website up just so I can get it up and do it and have it done. So, and with this so much, okay, with so much technology today, we've talked about this a lot too. We dabble in AI. I mean, it's AI is here. So we're ChatGPT in it. We're anything we can. Canva, which I use a lot, use for our flyers, and I use for like anything graphic wise or ideas, anything that I need, launched like an AI where it'll create code for you. Okay. Not only that, it also gives you the visual. So you can actually have like some sort of like a start of sense of inspiration. It'll give you inspiration. It's like a starter site kind of sort of, and then you just kind of go, but you're putting in the prompt what you want, how you want it to look. And so I've been started as an experiment, because that's usually what it is. You start tinkering with things and you start figuring it out, and you're like, oh, I like it or I don't. And so I've been using that in conjunction with ChatGPT, and it's been phenomenal. I'm like, yeah, it's like, this is like one of the greatest things, right? So
I got to ask you,
loving it.
Not to cut you off, but did you try the TIAI?
The rapper Ti?
Yeah, he's got TIAI. It's great. Like,
oh, you're not joking. Okay, I thought you were kidding.
Whenever you know TIAI, it's like It's like ChatGPT, but instead you can get whatever you like. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man.
This guy tried to sing it. He's singing it.
I'm trying, man. I'm sorry.
That was like the longest frisbee throw, and the dog is still running to try and catch.
Yeah, I was saving that one for like 7 months, man. I was waiting for you to bring up like
AI. I actually love it, dude. Remember we talked about doing parody commercials? I reached out to Too Far Gone. Hopefully he gets back to me. He's been traveling with his girl or whatever, but I would love to. I think that would be fucking hilarious to do a TIAI parody, like a commercial. And yeah, genius idea, J6.
Speaking of TIAI and all this AI stuff, I know, you know what? I'm such a poser AI specialist because I'm not an AI specialist, but you know, Google, a lot of people have been talking about, what's it called? The Google video AI?
Yeah, I'm not, I haven't dabbled in that yet. I think I might have just a smidget of it. I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I mean, but it's been getting a lot of great stuff. But I think I dove into it for like 3 minutes tops, and maybe 5 minutes, and I didn't really get great results. Like I had better results.
Oh, it's VO. So I didn't mean to cut you off there, but it's VO. VO3, VEO3, Gemini. I tried it once, but go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off.
I was just saying though, there's a lot of buzz about it, but I think I haven't figured out really how to use it properly because I'm getting way better results when I messed around in the was it Sora, the ChatGPT one, and I'm sure there's tons of better ones out there. I'm just kind of dabbling. Like I don't really even have a purpose for it. I just kind of want to dip my toes in it, you know.
But that's the thing is like you that's what I was talking about, like dabbling in the Canva AI and the ChatGPT, and then your brain starts to go and you're like, oh, I can use this for this, or I can use this for that. Or I have an idea that I want to create and I can do that. I think it's a great starting point. It's a great source and form of information. It's so vast. It's everything's at your fingertips. If you're not using AI today in your everyday life, you're wasting time. You're time wasting, which leads me to this segment, bro. Nice. Everything's working today, bro. What are you talking about, bro? Let me just do this. Time waster.
Don't get hit by the Time Wasters Club.
Take an oracle, you see, and then we connect it to communication.
All right, so we haven't done one of our segments in a while. This is a segment that Cookie Rabinowitz came up with. It's called the Time Wasters Club. It's really just anything that's like just wasting time, where you can actually be more efficient and do things, you know, faster and better. So today, this happened to me, and it just got me thinking, man, I'm going to do a time waster segment on this. So I'm not going to mention this person's name, but it's a friend of mine, a good friend of mine. And he's leaving for out of town with his family. They're going to Europe for like 3 weeks. They're doing like a cruise in Italy, around the coast of Italy, and, you know, hitting London and Spain and yada, yada. Right. So went out to have breakfast, sort of like a brunch with him today, and hang out. And so he had to drop something off at a particular, you know, part of town, but he told me to meet him in a different place. So I drive all the way to the other place to go grab him for lunch. And then he texts me when I get there and says, hey, I'm over this way. So time waster number one, right? So go pick him up, and not a problem. It's no zero stress. You know, it wasn't like I had a million things to do today. So I went and grabbed him, and then we go do our thing and have some lunch, some breakfast, lunch, whatever. And then we got to go. He's got to go do something at the lawyer. So I take him over to the lawyer, and the lawyer's not there. So we leave, and now I'm taking him back to his crib. You know, I'm dropping him back off on the beach. We get all the way to the beach, and the lawyer calls and says, I'm here. So now we got to go all the way back. Mind you, it's raining here in Miami, so much rain and a lot of traffic at this point, right? Just because it's just too many people are living here in South Florida. So now we go all the way back, and I just told him, you're a time waster. And I told him about the segment. I told him about the segment, and I told him, dude, I'm doing a segment on you tonight called it's called the Time Wasters Club, because you are just a Time Wasters Club in itself. And he's got a massive amount of ADD, but he's like my little brother, so it's not no stress. Like I just give him shit, bust his chops for it. But total waste of time today. Don't let that be you, ladies and gentlemen. Don't waste your friend's time. Do it right. Pay attention. Look alive. Act like you know. That's my.
I love it, man.
I wish it was coming for today. Yeah, we haven't done one in a while. We've been wanting to do a sound check too. Maybe we'll do a sound. I'll do one next week.
Next
we
week
have
is
an
an afternoon show.
Next week is an afternoon show. Everybody, so if you're listening now, and we do our shows on playback too, so you might catch this again. Next Tuesday, June 10th, we're having a very special edition of Jus Riffin called Jus Sippin' with a very special guest. Pardon me. OSF from Rec Drinks, from Rec Guy, from Rec Brand. So Ovi, how do you say his last name? Farouk? How do you pronounce that? You know?
I believe so. Farouk, maybe.
Farouk, okay. But we're gonna have Ovi. We're gonna have OSF from Rec on the show. They just launched a new drink and sold out in 17 minutes. So I'm excited to talk. Oh, he's drinking it. I'm saving this for the show because I already drank one. I'm saving this because that's all I got left. I'm going to have to hit somebody up to see if I could buy some from them so I can have some, you know?
To get some black market wrecked.
Yeah, some black market wreck. They're great, though. I like them because I like seltzer anyway. Like I like soda water. And that's actually really good because it's not like it's very low, if any, sugar. You can't really taste anything. It's not overpowering with that.
Yo, so check this out. So like my girl has a baby shower she's going to this Sunday, and her job was like bringing like a bunch of kind of beverages and stuff, and I was like, perfect. I might have room, you know, I don't know, like this little space here. If we zoom the screen out, it's just filled with Rec drinks.
Rec. Oh my gosh, you're a Rec drink hoarder. That's what I'm saying, dude. Are you getting rid of you're getting rid of, so that's why you're getting rid of the guitar to make more room for the Rec drinks?
More room. Oh yeah, the guitar raffle.
Yeah. Talk about that, bro. Like what's going on with that? How can people get involved? Let them know.
Well, I make music under the name Cookie Rabinowitz. You can Google it or whatever. And I don't put my music on Spotify. I've been spending several months building a music platform just for my personal music. It's nothing grandiose or big. I mean, but it's big to me because it's me distributing music the way I'd like to, as opposed to the way other platforms are designed. So I built a platform from the ground up. It's got some blockchain technology underneath the hood, and I'm excited about it. And to raise awareness of it, I have too many guitars, which is 2, not counting my bass. I have this guitar, but this guitar, wherever it is, my monster guitar, I've had it in stuff before. You guys have seen it, I think, in the show. But that's my guitar. I use it to gig with all the time. And I was like, I can only play one guitar at a time. And I love this guitar, but I love it so much that I'd love somebody to play it instead of sit on my wall most of the time because I always play the other guitar. So I'm giving it away. And, this is funny, though. This is actually interesting. So at first I was thinking of maybe just selling really cheap raffle tickets, right? But then I learned a lot of the regulation and compliance things with Web3. That doesn't only apply to Web3. Like you cannot legally have a raffle. Like you have to have a whole game, unless you're a nonprofit. You have to be a nonprofit. So I was like, well, I can't really do a raffle. So what I'll do is I'll just have people, because in the old days, people would be like, sign up on my mailing list and you can download a song. Well, let's face it, nobody wants to download your fucking song now. They want to stream it. Nobody wants that shit on their phone or their hard drive. Not that your song is shit, or not that my song is shit, but it's storage space. Like there's no reason for it. It can be stored on a CDN, on a content delivery network, and people can stream it easy enough. And if they really are afraid they'll lose connection, they can cache it on their computer or whatever, and then decide if they want to hold on to it, the downloaded version. But I digress. Basically, I figured, I want to beef up my mailing list because once I launch this platform, I want as many people to be on it as possible. So I figured I would just have a raffle, and everybody who signs up on the mailing list. And it was cool because before I made a post of it or announced it or anything, I told the people that were on my mailing list, about it, and I was just like, hey, you guys are already in, you know, and so a couple people were really excited about it. So it made me feel good, because nothing more I would love than for somebody to get this guitar. This guitar has rocked many a stages and many of dirty, smelly bars as well. So
yeah, I'm just very cool that you're giving away your guitar, bro.
Wouldn't it be badass if somebody got it and they wrote like a hit song with it or something? I don't know, but who knows? Or maybe
it would be I like that. That would be fucking awesome, bro. Are you kidding?
Or they smashed it on stage, you know. I don't know.
Yeah. Or painted, you know, made art out of it, you know, anything, like it's yours, right? Yeah, once you win it, sure. do what you will with it.
So I'm stoked. I hope somebody gets it that really loves it, and or if somebody gets it doesn't even play music, and maybe it'll inspire them to learn how to play guitar.
If I win it, I would just I would use it while I'm sitting on the toilet. I would just jam out, you know what I'm saying? Probably make things a lot smoother. You know, it could be like a smooth criminal.
I love it. Hendrix, I think it was Hendrix I think Hendrix said that he used to love playing on the toilet because the bathrooms always have great acoustics, the tiles and stuff.
You know? Absolutely. I can't
and Elvis, of course, died on the throne, you know.
A lot of people kicked the bucket in the you know. Yeah.
We got
where did our show take a turn? We turned which way? I have no idea which way we turned. Left, right, but we're always moving. We're keeping it moving. We're always grooving.
And the bowels moving.
So now you're taking it too far, way too far. Terrible, man. Terrible, bro. It's been great. Let's bring our guest up. I think it's time to bring her up and chit chat and find out what's going on with Abstract and Abstract Angels, and yeah, let's do it. Everybody,
hey,
welcome to Jus Riffin. We got Daila, right?
Daila.
I'm gonna be
lost 5 Daila points for the day. They
yeah,
mean nothing. I don't even know what that is. I just made it up now, but you lost 5 of them.
Daila. All right. Daila, welcome to Jus Riffin. Thank you so much for taking time to hang out with us. What's cooking with you tonight? What's been good with you?
Thanks for having me, guys. Tonight is I'm just riffing, I guess. Usually I have my spaces earlier in the day, so it was nice to kind of like have one that's in the evening. I'm like chilled out. It's after everything, all the chaos of the day has gotten through. So just hanging out, you know, enjoying my rect right here.
Everyone got wrecked. Look at that.
Everybody's got to have it. Everybody's got to have it. I'm lucky enough to still have half a case left. So I've been like really like gingerly just taking one every so often so I don't ever run out.
Your baby sipping it?
Yeah. I mean, they just had the OpenSea collab.
Yeah.
And that was just like gone. I'm like, I didn't even get any of that. So you know, I need to get higher up on the food chain, so I get a case of one of those every once in a while. But
that's
other than that, just hanging out. It's always a great day on XP Day.
Always a great day on XP Day. Everyone's waits for that Tuesday, and it's kind of cool too because we go live on Tuesdays. So yeah, it's a great like bonus to get before we jump in.
Right. It's nice to kind of log in and be like, oh, what did I win this week for hanging out in the fun chain?
That's right. We're gonna get deep into this because there's a lot of stuff that we want to know, and I'm sure that you know, people that are listening and people that will be listening in the future, people that are sleeping right now, are going to want to know too. But before we dive into all that, I want to know a little bit about because you know, community you've been kind of it's like you're attached to community in many ways. So before you jumped into Web3, into this chaotic world of what we've been in for the last 4 or 5 years now, what were you doing with community? You were community building as well. So talk us through that.
Sure. Yeah. So quick TLDR, I've always pretty much been in community building, even when I was in Web2. It was just very different kind of community. So I had co-founded a transitional housing program for homeless parolees, so people coming out of prison. And along with creating that program, we had created this app to kind of like streamline the process of dealing with people coming out of incarceration. And if anybody's ever worked with like a state program, like it's pretty inefficient. And that was really my first introduction into seeing how technology can make very everyday things just more convenient and streamlined when applied properly. And really was kind of like my first foray into like, okay, when we track information a certain way, and if we kind of like present it a certain way, life gets better. So my ethos has always been that Web3 is just it shouldn't be a separate world from Web2. It should be something that we have to like enhance our Web2 life and make it better, whether that's socially, whether that's financially, whether that's through creative inspiration. Those things can coexist really well. So that's really kind of the crux of why I'm so passionate and dedicated in community building, because I like nurturing groups of people who are here for the right reasons, who are here to build something significant together, to build something that's going to make people's lives better, to build something that's going to make people have an extra reason to smile during the day. So while that community was a little more chaotic in Web 2, community is community, and it's always taking people who are put in a box and a lot of other people don't see the same potential for, and saying, you know what, we can do something more with this. This isn't kind of the end all be all. How can we grow from this and do it better? And that's pretty much what I still do in Web3, just a lot more fun, creative ways now. Now I work with a lot more creative people and people who are more forward thinking. So it's a little more exciting. But
when you first, okay, so you leave that, you leave the housing stuff, I mean, what you built there, but moving into more just back into community, it's just like, you know, transitioning back into community, but in a different light, right? What were you thinking in the beginning of like 2021 when all of this, I guess you want to say like information highway for real, like all of this stuff is here, crypto Twitter, and it's around us too, right? Not just in crypto Twitter, but we all kind of, I think, jumped in, and it was on Twitter where everyone kind of found each other and found kind of the community and these projects and different things that maybe we didn't know about prior, and then we were learning about them, and we're like, this is intriguing. Like, what the hell is this? Well, let's see where this is going to go. What were you thinking when you first got into this Web3? How long did it take for you to realize that there's actual real building going on? Obviously, you're going to have those people scamming, and people in the beginning, they're always going to find a way. Forget about them. But on the positive side, right? When did you realize that you could actually do something and do something good in this community?
Yeah.
And
Well, I'd started trading in 2020. So I started on the more trading side. And then in 2021 was when, like, you know, Bored Apes came out and VFriends come out, and I started seeing those things, and it just it didn't hit the right note for me, but I was starting to see where now there was this intersection of, you know, decentralized finance and art and culture, and those are the things that I was really interested in. So I started my Twitter account, and I didn't even have Twitter beforehand. I was like fully doxxed. I had like my full legal name and shit, like stuff you just don't do. Total noob about it. I started my Twitter account, and one of my first tweets was like, hey, you know, I want to learn more about NFT communities. Like, what are the best NFT projects? And luckily, I got trolled and spammed to death by communities like Sappy Seals, who were in 2021. If you were in 2021, like, you know exactly what the Sappy Seals vibe was all over the timeline. They were everywhere. They were infectious. Their memes were everywhere. And I'm very grateful that that's the kind of community I came in with, because it really set the tone for what I love most about communities. It's people who, it's not like, oh, let's pump out timeline content. It's having the inside jokes and memes in chats and things that people attach to, and building that lore over time, and being able to say, hey, you remember way back when, you know, they put the rogs in the eggs? That kind of shit like excites me. So I started with Sappy Seals, and they really did teach me how to make memes, and they were the first content I really made. And I started making like little kind of like sketch comedy clips, and I'd never done that before, and it was cool to be in an environment where now people were pushing me out of my comfort zone and giving me the room to try things I never had before, because I was in such a different field. And that's really,
how did that make you feel, coming from a very different world, you know, like different feelings? How did this make you feel? Because it was all fun to me.
It was invigorating. It was so fun. It was such the real world is so heavy. And it was just like somewhere, it's just like, this can just be a creative vehicle. This is exciting, meeting new people from all over the world. It was just like a whole different part of me came to life that I didn't know existed. So yeah, Web3 has done a lot for me personally, just inspiration wise.
Yeah. We had Michael Lee not too long ago on our show, which you know very well. He's an awesome person.
The
Props
goat.
to Michael Lee. He really talked a lot when we were talking. It was really about relationships and building relationships and so on and so forth. Since you've been in Web3 and been on this side of things, and working community wise and pushing yourself to be that person, to be the person that you are today, how did those relationships get you to abstract? How did you get to what you're doing now?
I love this question because I got to abstract because for very, very basic ways. I knew Finn from a group chat that we had been in for years. And it was connecting with a friend. And we had met a couple times at different IRL events. And fall of last year came around. He's like, "Hey, Daila, I'm working for Abstract now, and I think it's something you'd be really interested in. We have a women's community chat, and we're trying to start a women's community. Would you like me to add you to the chat?" And that was it. There was no, "Hey, I've got this opportunity. Hey, I want you to do this." It was like, "Hey, I'm working on something really interesting. You're somebody I know in the space. I think you'd be interested. Would you like to come in there?" And I love that I came in that way because it was organic and it was, "Hey, I want to learn about this ecosystem. Hey, I do want to build in this community." And it wasn't me just kind of like looking for like an in. We had known each other for years already. We knew what each other were about. We knew our reputations. So it was the most organic way of building a team. And it was just like, "I know what you're about. I think that you're a good fit in being in this group." And then saying, "Hey, you're such a good fit. I'd like for you to be on my team." And I can't think of a bigger compliment than that when somebody saying, "I fuck with you that heavily. Like, let's work like side by side on this."
That's great when you get recognized. We talked a little bit about that earlier in the show today about getting recognized for good work that you do, whether it's art, music, or whatever. And here you are on a community side of thing, getting that praise. It does make you feel good, especially when you know you're putting your heart and soul in something, and you want it to be good, and you want it to be good for everybody, and have everybody grow and build. Speaking of that, with abstract and growing and building, it's a baby. It's in its infant stages, and obviously, you're going to have your haters and your naysayers. I really love being on there. It took us a little bit of time to get onto abstract because the process of streamers or creators. But since we roll with Rug Radio, it was really a phone call away, and we're on there. So we love it. I really like the aspect of it. With the tipping thing is kind of cool, and I know that in time there's going to be more additions to what you can do with your chats and your portfolios and all that other stuff. How awesome is it working for this company that is just flourishing in every at every angle, really, and that you're a part of this? How are you yourself with the community? How are you helping it grow? How are you helping the community grow? What do we look to you for? Besides asking if you want to be on Jus Riffin.
Yeah. And first of all, honestly, like, I'm so glad that it's Rug Radio I'm having this conversation with, because Froke is one of those examples of people who like really have gone through it in the space and grown, and also grown in an organic way. Like, I've seen it from like the mint from the rug. So to see it kind of full circle now together on abstract is really, really cool. But the ways I'm really helping it grow, I started just being the women's community lead. And I don't want to say just building that, because that's a really huge responsibility that I take very seriously. Leading a community of women in Web3, where we're so marginalized, and everybody kind of wants to put women in boxes still. To say I really want to build an organic community that's diverse and has people from all walks of life and people who genuinely want to be in this space isn't a small feat and isn't an easy thing. And I did kind of spend some time where I felt like I was just yelling into the void. But eventually, your vibe attracts your tribe, and we have an incredible women's community. So we've created a great group of creators and builders and professionals, Web3 professionals, and put them all together and be like, this is an incredible group of people in Web3, period. They happen to be women. Let's give them a space to grow together. And alongside that, we also have a co-ed chat of just people who are incredibly supportive of that women's community. and those have really grown into something that I'm super proud of. But
Tell us a little bit more about this, though. Like, it's Abstract Angels, right? This is now. Was it formed before you got on with Abstract, and you
it
just
was.
picked up the pace?
It was a women's community chat. It wasn't like I don't even know if it had like the official name yet, but like I said, Finn had added me to this group chat. He's like, "We're trying to start a women's community, like add it here." And I just saw it as being something more than just a group chat and just like, like a braid each other's hair pillow fights group chat. I'm like, we can really do something. There's some incredible women in this space. Why don't we see what we can do? So building out the account, building out the personality of the group, where it's not like, I don't want to push out, oh, look at me, I'm this strong bad bitch. I'm not a strong bad bitch all the time. I'm a real woman who's making her way through a tech world, who's learning as she goes, who's a creative, who is like-minded with a lot of people and aligned. And I wanted to attract that kind of community because that's the kind of community that has a stickiness and stays around and really builds and can create a great support structure for our different projects and different things rolling out on the team. I wanted there to be like a real squad in every Abstract project's corner that was there for the right reason and just happened to be awesome women.
Yeah, you got the fire about you, so that's undeniable, right? What has been so far, because you have a group of women, and a lot of people do. Sometimes they fall off. Not everybody sticks around because people are going into different directions, and things take in waves, and just like how you got to Abstract. What have you got? What have you guys? What have you ladies? What have you built so far, or what is being built? What can we look forward to?
So Abstract Angels is and I've actually had a bunch of people approach me and say, hey, you're gonna have an NFT project or anything. That I would never do, just because I don't want to assign a dollar figure to this group. And me being on the Abstract team, myself, I wanted to be something where it's kind of like ecosystem wide. But what we have done is incubate a lot of creators. So a lot of different streamers and different spaces hosts that you'll see, in the Abstract ecosystem are angels. So we have Ira, who hosts spaces and does live streams. We have Pixel Queen. We have Nancy. We have AC3, who does our partnerships with different projects. So we've created an incubator program. So these women who are in the community could also be ambassadors for different projects in the Abstract ecosystem in an organized way, so that they don't get taken advantage of, because it is kind of a thing where it's just like women sometimes get the shorter end of the stick on stuff. So we're like, let's organize this. Let's make it something where it's just like we can present opportunities to the group of people who are able to kind of like take on these like partnerships and ambassadorships and really represent the projects on the Abstract chain in an ethical and sincere way. So while it might not be something where it's just like, here's a huge project, you feel Abstract Angels everywhere, whether you know it or not. And that, I think, is like kind of like the real power in the women's group.
That's awesome. And are you also, besides being the lead for that community, what about the rest of the community at Abstract?
So so my role has grown to more community development, and I've taken much more of a lead in things with marketing, with our different activations in the community. Especially with like streamers, I'm doing a lot with like trying to incubate streamers and bring people on and kind of like curate the vibe that's going on streams.
How do you do that, though? How do you do? Let me stop you there. How do you do
Very
that?
difficultly.
Because it's so like, in the beginning, before we got on to Abstract, a lot of the people, and it's no offense to anybody that's on there, I couldn't understand because a lot of the stuff was Russian or whatever. But yeah. So how do you pick and choose who's going to roll, and how does it grow?
I tell you what, it's difficult. It's not easy at all. And a lot of people are like, why don't you just blanket approve everybody? Well, because not everybody is a streamer. Like being a creative is like crack. Just because you can do it doesn't mean everybody should do it, right? Well, nobody should do crack, but you know what I mean. But you know what I mean. Yeah. But
don't do crack, kids.
Don't do crack. But like, but you know what I mean. So being able to kind of like really go through, like a lot of people, like I put out a little video about this because a lot of people threw in their applications and thought it was just going to be like, oh, abstract's just going to approve and I can get a ton of XP. And it's not like that. I'm reading through every application. I'm checking the links that they're on there. I want to see somebody who's an actual creative, somebody who has a passion for creating content, because that's what I want to see. And I found myself at a certain point going through these streams and I was like, I'm not connecting to the content that's here, and I'm on the team and I love this chain and I see the potential, and I'm not connecting with the content. So what do I have to do? So I actively look for people who are putting out engaging content, even if they're not even streaming on abstract yet. I'm just like, why aren't you streaming on abstract? And I want diverse content. I want people who are doing things in web 2. I want to see people fixing their cars. I want to see people putting together Legos. I want to see people making music. I want to see people talking about, global politics and stuff like that. Making a diverse ecosystem and looking through and sorting through tens of thousands of applications and doing that is no easy feat, but I do think that the work is worth it and the juice is definitely worth the squeeze, because we're starting to kind of like see signs of life where it's like, all right, now we're developing a culture, and it's not just like everybody's streaming the same thing just because people are trying to get like an XP blast, and they're not going to be here, a year from now because they weren't trying to build anything special and creative.
They were just looking for the money.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
Those people definitely won't last, and that's great that you guys that you filter that. That there is a governor on that, so to speak, that like opening the floodgates. I think it's super important. Also, it's we've discussed this as well. Is very hard, even like with Rug Radio. It needs to be programmed content, in order for it to you have shows and to build. But you got to, figure out who's doing the shows, who's doing the right shows, what time are they doing, and so on and so forth. With this, I would think that it, just in my small-minded thoughts here, is that abstract, in order for it to really, really blow up. Now, I think what's great is that Red Bull came in, and that's awesome. Red Bull Racing, and I think that's a huge thing. And Michael also dropped a lot of alpha in there, hinted to a lot of things. So I know you guys have a lot of things coming in the aspect of growth. But for me, what's more important is the streaming aspect of it, because how do you get people there? Like, don't you need a Logan Paul? Don't you need I don't know whoever's the big people that are out and about that will bring the eyeballs.
The kids are listening to these days, like, yeah, right. Is there like show speed on there? Actually, a little alpha, and I haven't dropped this anywhere yet, so I'll drop it here for the first time because it is something that's I've kind of made my baby. We are going to have some more organized programming for the actual abstract team streaming. So we're going to have our own individual shows. We're going to have a regularly scheduled lineup during the week so that you can get to know the team and the culture of the team, because we can't build a culture of great streamers and set a standard if we're not showing them what we're building from the inside anyway. So I'm like, fuck it, let's just take the bull by the horns. And it's great. We're kind of allowing everybody to create their own vibe and theme, and Logan and Crypto T and Finn and Brian from Abstract Asia, and we'll all have our own different little shows. They're all going to be tied together, obviously, under the umbrella of this, program.
Is it going to be an abstract channel? Like, you can have your own channel that's programming everybody?
It's going to be streamed out of the abstract account first, and we're going to kind of like build it out from there. But we want to make it something that's cohesive and something that the community can find and be very consistent with, and really see what the abstract team is about, and kind of like find their starting point from what they see us doing. And I think, like I said, I think the only way to do it is to lead by example. So I'm kind of excited to see that. So in the next couple weeks, you're going to be seeing that. And yeah, I haven't said that anywhere else. So
all right,
Jus Riffin's got the alpha on that.
That actually makes me think of something. So Hef is streaming. I actually haven't been accepted yet, but he's streaming our show on Abstract, and he's using like the Rect Radio app to stream off of. And what I'm curious about is
Direct Drink, I think, or
the
just
Rect Drink app. like how would, and he was using through Myriad for a while.
Rec drinks.
But how would somebody approach abstract about like doing that type of thing? Like, let's say an artist or a business or somebody wanted to come to abstract and they wanted their own app on there. What's the process of that?
For that would be something that you'd have a conversation with Finn and possibly like Raj and Mason to kind of work with that. Everybody in the abstract team like wears multiple hats, but one thing, Finn as our kind of lead, he is incredibly hands-on with kind of like starting people off on the right foot, and I admire him. I don't know how he has the mental or time bandwidth to do as much as he does, but he loves to handle those right head on and be like, okay, where do we put you, how do we put you appropriately, and how do we present this best for the community and make it a good situation for everybody. So I would send your ass right to Finn, and we'll probably all be in a group chat and figuring it out together. And Cookie, you're not approved yet, buddy. If you do not DM me your AGW, bro.
I told him, I was like, yo, make that call.
I'm right here.
I got you. But and another thing about that, though, I'm curious of is like I see, or is this, I don't want to put like, if you can't give us too much information, but I see some big, like, I don't know, in my mind, I could see like, I'm just making up a name, but like maybe like Sony down the road having one of those apps in abstract and maybe them doing some stuff or some bigger like Web2 companies. Is there some of that in the works?
There are. I wonder how much I can drop. There are some very.
I just got off the phone and they were like, she could say whatever she wants. That's
until my phone starts blinking and I get like a Slack message and it's like, hey, Daila, how about you shut the fuck up?
They just said, don't worry about it. Tell her not to worry about it. She's good to go. I just got the message.
Right. This is a safe space, right?
Safe. Very.
We do have some very interesting social applications that are going to be coming out that are going to be mobile friendly and are going to be way more aligned. That's going to be onboarding more mainstream talent. So we're going to start seeing a lot more talent from outside of Web3 come into the abstract ecosystem through that. So there definitely is some things in the works. When we say we're early, I mean stupid, like absurdly early. Like I don't think people sometimes get it where they feel like it's just kind of like, a bunch of little projects and tokens, and it's like, no, we're building a foundation for what the consumer world is going to see of Web3 being, and we just want them to see the best parts of Web3, which is great community, which is strong. If there's meme tokens, that is real culture behind there. If there's project, there's real utility and real building in there. But we are so close to like day one that I can't wait to have this conversation in a year and everybody be like, holy shit, if I would have just known, I would have really taken this a lot more seriously in the beginning. But there's so much more coming. So, but yeah, I think somewhere in my NDA it says that like the marketing team can like beat me with like a pillowcase full of like bars of soap if I release too much information. So I have to be really careful.
Yeah.
I signed it, so
yeah. Oh no, thank you for dropping that. We get it. I'm with it. I mean, I'm on board with it. I'm not in the pudgy ecosystem, but I'm in the rec and the rug radio ecosystem, and I'm proud to be part of that. There's a few L's that we all took along the way, with certain projects that founders just didn't know what they were doing, and but the real founders are still here, and I'm really, really proud of you guys over there, your team over there, at what you guys have built, what you guys are building. And, this is great because you're right. It is early. You're in the beginning, and it feels good to be part of something, to watch it actually, to be a part of it, doing something with it, not just being a viewer, someone that's consuming the content, but someone that's actually producing and actually putting the content out. It's been really, really cool to be on abstract. I'm glad that Jus Riffin is on there.
Thanks. And I like to say there's a reason why we love having rug radio creators on, and there has been a standard set, like folks have set a standard with the way content is created, and it is no accident that we are such fans of having it alongside us, because we want people to see that this is the kind of standard of stuff that like we're working towards and working with, and we want everybody to understand just how amazing this tool is. Like you're literally not able to get tipped in real time in crypto anywhere else the way that you're doing it here. Like it just doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Like,
and a lot of people don't realize that. Like, say that again. Just please say it again.
You can't get tipped in real time, not waiting for somebody to clear a check, not waiting for approval. When somebody tips you, it's yours there in your wallet immediately. That's not happening anywhere else, guys. Like, look at me in my eyes. It's not happening anywhere else.
That's still something. Just what that really means, I still remind myself of that, because it's like, even like when you sell something in crypto or when you get tipped in crypto, it's not going to a bank and then you get it from a bank. It's going right to you. It's like, it's just the technology is amazing. And I also, this leads me to want to ask you about, you were talking about like the standards and stuff. And I would love to know, because we know, it's good to post a lot of information about abstract and stuff, because we're making people aware of abstract and what it actually is. But aside from that, like, what would be your definition of the type of content that the streaming you would want from a diversified group of streamers? Like, is there specific stuff?
I love this question. What I want to see, what I think is going to be the strength of the platform, is diversity and real personality. I don't think that it's necessarily like the content itself, what people are talking about. I think the people are really going to make the content what it is. Like, there could be somebody reading the fucking dictionary for all intents and purposes, but if they're awesome and they're doing something fun and creative while they're doing it, people are going to be engaged. And Web3 is full of so many incredible personalities. If you've ever been to a Web3 event, you've met amazing people, and you're like, I can't believe that I'm in this community where I would have never met these people in my life, and now these are like my best friends, and now these are people I talk to more than my own like flesh and blood family. And we have so many of those people, and I'm like, put it on live. Show everybody how awesome it is here, because there's some incredible talent and so many cool people, and they're great, hilarious people and brilliant, intelligent people. I want to see the range of that. And I feel like that is really going to be the strength of content creation for abstract, is that spectrum of what Web3 culture is.
I want to ask you, on abstract, when you go to, the streams, it's got the following streams, people you're following. But I don't see anything yet that says like gaming or music. That's where it's that content relation,
Right.
Are you going to have that? Is that something that's on the table for abstract?
Yeah, there are definitely some updates that are going to be rolled out right now. The dev team is working on some other specific things more aligned with, like I said, these more like social applications that are going to be bringing on some more of that Web2 base. But the streaming platform as it is nowhere close to where its final point is. We can kind of like think of this as like it's almost like a soft opening. We're working in progress. We're seeing what streamers are doing, what they need, what the feedback is, building it alongside of it to see how, you want it to be intuitive and something that actually makes sense. So we're able to take all the feedback that we have now from the creators, and we're able to shape it a little better. But there are some really cool upgrades and improvements that are going to be coming down the line. And I think I think Saigar is the one that gets to beat the shit out of me if I release too much information about that stuff.
That's the
one I signed off for. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the name that definitely sounds like you would kick your ass.
Shout out to Saigar, by the way, whose brilliance terrifies me. Like, he's just like, you ever like see somebody so smart, you're just like, am I allowed to breathe the same oxygen? Like, are you for real?
That's awesome. What's he do?
So he's the dev. If you ever see like on the timeline, there'll be like some really crazy upgrade. You're typically going to see it out of his account first there, and half the time I see it there first before the team, because he gets really excited to tell the community like of these new things. But he is incredibly brilliant, kind of just leading the way and like just rolling this out. And again, we kind of had talent crazy talent on all levels.
I can
So
imagine.
so he's just another one. It's just like, bro, are you for real? And
That's why I got this right here. You see that shirt? It says protect the devs.
let me tell you,
Protect them
like,
at all costs, because they're making what's going round right now go round, pretty much.
Abstract is not a huge team, but we are mostly devs. Like
These
most of the
smart
team,
people.
most of the team is on the dev side. There is a lot of mental muscle that is going into building it, and like, I appreciate them because they make, working community and marketing really easy to talk about something that's so dynamic and so awesome. But holy crap, do they talk a language that I do not speak? And it's just like, please dumb it down for me, because I know how to use it, but holy crap, how do you make it work?
It's
Like, I'm
amazing.
not shy about saying, like, Jesus.
Yeah. So you know how smart ChatGPT is. Those guys are ChatGPT in their own head, right?
Yeah, we have like abs GPT back there.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, just insane, like, mental muscle that I'm just like,
So nuts.
you're all human? Like,
maybe not the ones that you haven't met yet. I want to. You talked about the marketing too. You talked about a little bit there. How are you guys marketing? And I like what you said too, that it is rolling out, and that you guys, to me, it's that fail fast.
okay.
Like what you should be doing is fail fast. Don't wait till you got this product and then launch it. Then what? What if people don't like it by that point? Lay it out, let it build, grow with it, let it grow with you, and you see where it's going to get to and where to go. But how do you get this app? How do you get this platform to the public, to outside of crypto Twitter? How do you get it more? I know the with having Red Bull, great, more eyeballs, right? More outside eyeballs to the inside. But how are you going to market and promote this platform to the mass, to the public? And when do you do that? When do you roll out this massive marketing plan?
So we do that in a variety of ways, and there's like, there's just different tiers of the ways we do it. So there's like the internal marketing, and there's the, the ways we do it where we're kind of like onboarding through gaming and these community events. Things like the abstract games onboarded a lot of people that were just kind of like in the gaming realm and not necessarily like, hanging around Web3, like into it, because they're like, right, okay, great, now this is like really easy for me to get into, and I can maybe make some money and win stuff from it. So you have that, the more like kind of like digital based. Then you have like the more social apps that I've mentioned, where that's going to be able to have things where we're onboarding more people from the Web2 space. We're going to have a subscription model eventually, so you'll be able to subscribe to, different creators and stuff. So there's going to be the incentive there for more mainstream creatives to have that kind of like stable horse where they're like, I want my subscriber base that I could have on something like YouTube available to me, so we can have things like that. And then you have your Web2 partnerships like Red Bull Racing, and that's just our first one. I want to make it make strong point of saying that's what we came out of the gate as our first partnership. Like, it wasn't some little like rinky dink thing. That just goes to show you the scale of what our partnerships that we're going to be announcing later are working with, and that's where we are.
Who's next?
Oh man. Let me see. How can I put this that won't have Luca repel through my window?
We're gonna play Ring Around the Rosie here.
It's gonna be we are creating partnerships with things that are engaged by very large groups of people at oh damn it. I'm scared. I'm scared of Michael.
Don't say anything. We understand. We understand. You guys have some big ballers,
some really
coming
cool
in.
shit.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, having Red Bull there, having Wrecked drinks there. What? Why?
So again, like how I mentioned earlier, that I feel like Web3 is more of an extension of Web2 life and should make it better and enhance it, as opposed to being two separate things. These Web2 partnerships that we have are ways of facilitating that. So you have Red Bull Racing, right? And Formula One is blowing up. It's bigger than it's ever been. So why not create something where it's like, okay, now, everybody's involved in the digital world. Create a digital collectible for fans of racing and things that people from this realm would appreciate, even if it wasn't on the blockchain. So the things that we want to create are things that people should enjoy and not realize that it's tied to blockchain or to crypto thing. We want to remove all the confusing jargon, and we want to remove all the confusing ideals, and just say, hey, what are you into? What are the fun things you like to do? What are the things you're into socially? And how do we use the technology we have to make that experience better, or create it, make a memory or a collectible that you can keep with that, and just enhance your life, as opposed to trying to create a whole nother divided life that most people honestly don't necessarily need.
Now, are they considered advertisers? Like, how are they? Like, yeah, what's the approach? Like, when you approach these companies and brands, how are you bringing them in? Like, what is it?
So the approach is, Michael is the one who really takes the lead on this, but his approach is basically like viewing the product, and he's incredible at all these. I mean, his network is vast and amazing, but he is really great at like getting to the heart of what people need and where abstract actually does align. Because if there isn't the real alignment that makes sense, then he's not going to be running and chasing after and trying to fit a square peg into a round hole either, which I really, really do appreciate too. So, Red Bull, it's like not the only kind of like racing entity. It was just the one that made sense, where we aligned the best, and it was just like, okay, they understand the tech and where it ties in and makes sense. Because if that part where it doesn't make sense happens, then you're not going to have that connect, and you're not going to have that community that actually appreciates what we're able to do for it. Because then it's just going to be like, if Red Bull was just like, oh, it's passive, then they're not going to be proud to talk about a partnership with abstract. Why the hell would they care? It's just
Right.
going to be like, it's like having like a partnership with like, oh, we've got a partner with Charmin toilet paper because we keep it in the friggin' bathrooms at the stadiums. You know what I mean? Like, it's something that's a nothing, and we definitely don't want to be the nothing. So creating these aligned partnerships where the tech actually does make sense, and the support can be reciprocal, and we can actually really build out the community, is probably the biggest priority there.
That's great. I want to ask you also, now, from their side of things.
Yeah.
They're doing this thing with abstract. How do they let people know? Maybe you know this answer to this question or not, but how do they promote on their side? Are they promoting abstract too and saying, hey, we partnered up with abstract, this is something, so yada, yada, yada? Like, what's their approach on that side to the world?
So I don't think necessarily it's outright like, hey, we're partnered with abstract, any more than people are saying, hey, we're partnered with Google and because you can search here, or hey, we're partnered with Amazon because you can buy our stuff here. Abstract should be something that is literally kind of like, it's palpable in the background. It's part of the fabric of what makes people connected to the blockchain world. And while abstract is digital Disney, because it's kind of all encompassing, there's you get to a point where something is ubiquitous, right? Like when people talk about things like, say somebody wants to eat cereal, right? Sometimes people like, oh, hand me that box of Cheerios, or even if it's not necessarily Cheerios, they just refer to all cereal that way, or hand me a box of Kleenex when they just mean tissue. That's what abstract is going to be to these Web2 partnerships. You may not necessarily have like this palpable thing, but it's just going to be like, anytime you see this crypto connection, people are just going to be like, oh, that's obviously going to be abstract, because that's the rails that we're coming in on. So with Red Bull, it really is a matter of advertising this digital collectible, right? And for most of the Web2 audience, they don't want to hear all this tech jargon. They really don't. The minute they hear anything about crypto, that scares them. They hear all of a sudden Silk Road pops in their head. They're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm funding the cartel." Yeah, you lose them immediately.
Yeah.
But when you're telling them, "Hey, we have this digital asset you can collect. You just set up this account with your email." It's setting up the wallet for them. They're not doing all the complicated stuff to set up a crypto wallet. And all they see is, oh my gosh, okay, now I have this digital collectible I keep in this digital wallet. And all of that stuff is removed. All that technicality is removed. So they just have the end product that they want. I feel like that in itself, even without saying it, is promoting the product, because that's what people are going to come to see. I don't think I don't think abstract necessarily needs people in Web2 yelling it from the rooftops, like I said, any more than people are like Google or Amazon, because that's exactly where we're headed. So it'll be everywhere.
That's awesome. Now, what about like the other aspects of being on abstract and having your wallet and being able to trade tokens and buy, and then you have badges that become NFTs, and there's NFTs on the abstract chain and so on and so forth. How about like those newbies that are coming over to abstract chain because of maybe Red Bull, or because of they bought the rec drinks and yada yada, or they're fans of Rug Radio. But they don't really know, they're not tech savvy. They're not digital wallet savvy. They have no idea about how it works and whatnot. There's still a level of, you still need to sign, like we bought the rec stuff today. So we had to sign the wallet. We had to know what happens when it pops up. Now we know because we've been here for a while. It's per use, right? But like for the newbies, they don't know what to do. Are you guys creating videos to walk people through certain things to make it easier for them to understand how to use the product?
Yeah. So early on, we actually, like, even when we first launched, when we first went live with mainnet, there was like kind of like a whole tutorial just for the Web3 space, even because whenever something's new, everybody has to learn how to use it. But the biggest intention of abstract is to make it kind of like as few clicks as possible to get where we need, right? So building out apps where just creating the account itself is already creating the wallet, right? When you created your abstract wallet, your initial AGW, you're not doing things with like, your seed phrase and everything. It's just like, okay, put your email here. You created an account that already created the wallet. Have your 2FA for your safety. Boom, you're done. And that's exactly what it should be for everybody. So while we're still, yeah, I mean, and that's, for me, even when I first did it, even working for abstract, I first did it, I thought I did something wrong because it went so fast. I'm like, I must have missed a step. There's no way that this is already a wallet, and I was nervous about it too. I'm like, and it's like safe, like I could put like crypto in here and I could bridge it. Like it was that like, I'm like, this is where we're going with it. You always talk about like that onboarding of the consumer market, and things are going to get more streamlined. But then when you actually see it, you're like, holy shit, we're like actually here. But we're going to be seeing that more in like different apps and stuff. And there'll be different ways to be able to do that. And when you see that in a variety of places, and it's just like, okay, now we can just do social sign, and people don't even realize they're building out the crypto wallet. We are getting to a point where people won't even need to be told any more than they need to be told how to set up a social media account.
I think that's great, because people do need to learn. And it is easy where you can learn it really fast. Like literally today, if I had to deal with another wallet, I would have been like having to jump through hoops. But seriously, today I went to OpenSea. I bought the one of the rec. What is it called? Cookie. Shipwreck. So I bought one of those today, right? And I didn't have the ETH in the wallet, in the abstract wallet, but I had abstract. So I easily converted some abstract to ETH and then bought the NFT. It was so easy and smooth. It was not complicated. It didn't take a long time. The gas fees were inexpensive. Like it was very low and just very, very smooth. And I really love that aspect of it, because I do feel the same way, exactly what you said. The newbies, they don't want anything complicated. They're going to be out. Oh, I got to, what is that I got to do? I got to read something. I got to sign something. I'm out.
Yeah. And I think, and our platforms are getting more efficient with that too. Like take OpenSea, for example, like things are getting so much more intuitive. And I think, abstract is kind of like, was just like a big what's the word I'm looking for, catalyst to see like kind of like this like now cascading effect where you're really noticing it in these platforms like OpenSea, where it's just like, oh wow, it's not these, I'm clicking a bunch of different signing things and oh my gosh, now I could easily get more easily rugged because I signed the wrong transaction or something like that. Shout out to OpenSea. Please don't notice my pinned video where I'm sitting there and acting like the OpenSea tech support and telling people to go fuck themselves. I love you, OpenSea.
This makes me think, talking about the wallet, because I had a similar experience with the Rect Mint today. It was just super smooth, and I had to bridge ETH with inside the Abstract app, and it was just so easy. Like back in the day, I would be sweating bullets bridging from one chain to another. I'd be like, did I do it right? And it was just so quick, and it just worked great, and it was very cheap or inexpensive, I should say, the gas.
Yeah.
And but one thing I want to ask about that is, and I think I like this, but I want your take on it. So when I'm in like another wallet, like Phantom, MetaMask, or whatever, and you're switching, you can do multiple chains on it. Now there's pros to that, but there's also cons to it, because there's also conflict. And I notice with Abstract right now, it's strictly Abstract. And I think that's a feature, not a problem. And I was just wondering if that's going to be a continuation. Like you're basically building this thing here, so you're not building outside the ecosystem, like people convert and they bridge right within your app to Abstract. Is that the plan?
Yeah, I mean, with Abstract, the plan is really to kind of just have like that single point, and like the marketplaces are great and the trading platforms are great, where they have like all this interoperability and they can support a bunch of different chains. And while we are fully EVM compatible now, before it wasn't fully EVM compatible. Now it is like completely EVM compatible for builders. To keep it like straight up Abstract is just going to be the easiest way to keep as few steps as possible for people who are going to be using crypto. Because the minute you start adding like way too many different chains, that's just one more thing that people are going to be confused by. And we're building out what's going to be the leading chain. So there really isn't a need to kind of like branch out different ways when you're building the GOAT.
I like it.
No shade.
No. Hey, you know what? If you don't believe in what you're doing, then what are you doing there, right? So that's great. I love the I love the vibe.
I tell you what, man, it's really brought a lot of love of Web3 and building back to me, working with Abstract. I know sometimes I sound like I'm kind of like, laying on thick and glazing hard, but holy shit, man, like it really is that awesome.
I had another question, but what you just said makes me think of something, because you were talking about before you got into Web3 too. Are you a dev as well?
No, I'm definitely not a dev. Actually, so I built the app that created using Salesforce, and that was my first introduction to devs when I had to hire out a dev for that. Shout out to Cloud Jedi. That who really taught me, because I was not somebody who was literate in any of that and didn't understand code. And having people that were there who were like kind of like writing there and really taught me, it's like, oh wow, you could really just kind of like write this block. And we're talking like, God, like 14-15 years ago now, so like it's been a minute. That was my first introduction to being able to see it's like there are people who can literally like take this language and just create an entire tool with it. And we're spoiled now with things like you could just vibe code stuff, and we have GPT and you can go code stuff easily. Incredible. But let me tell you, like it takes a really special talent to be one of these minds that can really break stuff down and troubleshoot and sort things out and pick it apart and be like, okay, this isn't working because of this reason. Let me change this up. And it's just kind of like, I can't even move a picture in a document without everything getting screwed up.
Yeah, being a dev is all hats off to the devs, because it's a lot of brain power, that's for sure.
And then another thing about the just the apps. So we have the Pengu token, which is on Solana, and then we have the Abstract token, which is coming. Is this going to be something that you guys want people to build with? Like, in other words, if somebody's powering interaction and engagement with their audience or community or whatever it is that they're doing, is this something that you would want people to utilize that token for that, or is not really something that for it?
Not sure what I can talk about with that. With that one, that's a Luca question. That's a Luca question.
No problem. No problem.
Oh, it's been real, guys. I've been fired. So
I'm not mentioning the word token for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I can say is things are being built out so intentionally, and intentionally, not even in the space of like just our Web3 space. Like Luca himself is like spending lots of times in like DC and like really working on some heavy stuff. So whatever is going to be coming later on is no just like, hey, here's your cute little like, you know, fun tokens or something like that. I implore everyone to take it very, very seriously when we talk about what's coming for the next couple quarters. And
Very
I
that's
think
that's
that's
it. I
awesome.
think I think I did it. I think
Without getting in trouble, I hope so. But
I hope so.
I think it's awesome and mighty noble, though, that that Abstract is the type of company that is going that extra mile. If you say Luca is in DC, he's in DC for a reason, to make sure that what they're building does not fall through the cracks, and they don't. They just making sure that all the holes are sealed up as much as they can, and make sure that they're doing it the right way. And I got to back any person, any company that is just flat out building. That's why I'm behind these the rec guys. Whether it's one NFT or a million NFTs I got, I really love those guys. And the same with Rug, and the same with Abstract. I really am digging what's going on, because there's not that many builders that are left, and the guys that are still here building, I only know of you guys. There's a few other, like,
it's not even about doing it well
but
anymore. The
it's doing it
the
right.
the level for integrity and just doing things with just a level of absolute zero tolerance for bullshit is
Right.
no joke. Like, we are held to such a high standard. We hold ourselves to it individually and as a team. There is such a, this is not the place you come to like fuck around. There is no bullshit here. There's nothing that's going to be sideways. To build something, to build the proper empire that we are building here, there is absolutely no room for it, and not a
Love it.
single person on in the team takes that lightly at all. And I love it, because it's comfort for me. I know there's nothing ever shady, and I ever have to like doubt or second guess. Like, a lot of things in Web3, it comes with that like twinge of like, is this the right thing? Is everything kind of being done on the up and up? And
You
it
don't
really
get
does
that.
feel good to be building like where you're like,
Awesome.
I know damn well.
Just Riffin.
I mean, that's how you want it. That's how you want it to be. You only want to work with those type of people, and you know right away if it's sideways, like you said, you're out. Cookie, pass the mic to you, my brother.
Well, you know, it's interesting what you're saying. It was funny. I was listening to FOMO Hour today, and Farouk was, you know, alluding to, well, not really alluding to, but just speaking about the past when Rug Radio first started, and it was based on a DAO, and just how he was basically alluding how back in those days for compliance, you would have to have like one token, like you would have to do it kind of a strange way just to make sure you're compliant. And
Yep.
it seems like these days that kind of stuff is loosening up, so you guys can really get your hands dirty and build something great without having to like jump through so many different obstacles and kind of beat around the bush to what you want to do. So, I mean, basically what I'm trying to say is regulatory, you know, being compliant is super comforting, and or at least doing your best to be compliant. And there is a lot of people in the space, and not necessarily that they're bad people, but they just don't realize that if you don't, you know, really make sure you're compliant with these things, it's eventually gonna be bad news.
Yeah, compliance is huge. And I mean, like, Finn's caught a lot of heat for, you know, people saying, oh, you know, Abstract isn't supporting, you know, meme coins and stuff like that. And it's like, what the hell do you mean? We support anybody building with ethics on the chain. But what we can't do is get involved and start like, you know, pumping it, or as team members buying a token and then being like, oh yeah, everybody, that's insider trading. Like, none of us like do you guys know So and I don't think that sometimes people see it from that perspective, because they're just like, oh, it's Web3, all crimes legal, or they just see it as just like, oh, you're supposed to be here and just like you buy tokens and shill it. But like when you're on a team like we are, and you're building what we are, there is really no room for like the questionable ethics of being involved with that. So like we support all teams equally. We're just like, yeah, create something originally. Me personally, I am dying to see somebody create some crazy ass meme coin and go ape shit on stream and making great content, and like somebody cook like there. I know the potential is there for somebody to create, the next like Mog or like ticker Bitcoin for abstract. I want to see somebody do it. But for us to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna be out here and chill it. No, we can't do that. It's just that's crazy.
For sure.
True to that. I want to. So we talked about so much stuff, and I'm like, again, I'm excited, for what abstract brings and what's to be with it, and we will see as time goes on. But what I really want to know this whole time, while you were talking, I just was thinking, what type of music does she listen to?
Oh my God, that's a scary question. I listen to every fucking kind of music, like literally. So I am Puerto Rican, and I grew up in New Jersey, and I, like my family's Italian immigrants to Puerto Rico. So, and on top of that, I played classical violin for 6 years. So
Wait,
there is so much.
Where is it? Where's
Huh?
the violin? Where is it?
I had an ex. He threw it out.
Oh,
Oh,
because I would put you on the spot. I'm
Yeah.
not afraid. But okay,
Dude.
wait. So go back. I don't want to go. Are you diving into the X? But like,
Yeah.
so you played violin for 6 years.
Yeah, I play classical violin. So so I have love for the way music is arranged and composed. So I tend to listen to it a little differently. Like I like to listen to a song and listen to like the individual pieces of it,
That's
which
awesome.
gives you a really great perspective, because you can appreciate any genre of music that way.
Yes.
So I can
You
go
understand the music. It's a lot easier when you understand the.
right. So I can go from classical to Tibetan chant to hardcore rap to EDM to country and back again.
Okay, give me your top 5. Give me your top 5. I'm not going to say songs. I'm going to say groups to make it easy, so we're not here forever. But give me not top 5. Just give me 5 groups
top 5.
that you
Okay,
dig.
groups. I am very into creative performers. So Elton John,
Okay.
Prince,
yeah.
Nas.
Sure.
I got 2 more, right?
Take your
What are
time.
2 more?
We're here all night.
Vivaldi.
Okay.
And that's all. Okay. And
You got it. You got this.
I do. That's actually the tip of the tongue. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I see her face in my.
We could stop it there. We could stop it there. That's gonna be a good meme. We're gonna put this meme all over the internet. You're gonna go viral.
Shit! No. Oh my God, what is her friggin' name?
Oh, it's a she? What does she do? Barbara Streisand. Okay.
Yeah, I like me a performer, man.
Yeah, you like a performer. She definitely is.
She is. I know that's a little all over the place from Barbara Streisand to Nas, but
that's great though. Hell yeah! So
that's a range.
So you used to play the violin. If you were to pick it up today, do you feel like it's like riding a bike and you can zip on it?
I probably could play a little. I mean, I'd be a little hot cross buns for a bit, but like, yeah. I would. I miss it. I do miss it. I did, like I lost it, lost the violin, and it's like out of kind of spite, I never got another one. I actually ended up getting a drum set, and I'm a really shitty drum player, but I play.
That's right. Gotta just get loose. I think sometimes, a lot of people are scared to just to initially sit down at a drum set or try an instrument or anything like that. And I think it's awesome. Just you're that type of person. Like I said, you got that fire. You know what I mean? So yeah.
I'm a very fuck around and find out person. I'm just like, how
Not
bad
afraid.
could I really be at this, and just kind of keep doing it?
Yeah. So what side, the Italian or the Puerto Rican side? Brings that out of you.
To probably both, honestly.
Yeah.
It was just it's just a little
They're
bit of
both
everything.
fiery, actually.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm not a good person to make mad.
We're definitely staying on your good side. That's
right?
for sure. Yeah.
But it's so hard to make me mad too. So that's all right.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah. It's a very,
Okay.
very slight chance. I can't remember the last time I was like really, really pissed off.
That's
but
good.
I think I probably blacked out. Stuff probably caught fire. Who knows?
Uh-oh. Don't want to see you there. Well, I want to say thank you so much for coming on and spending time with us. We're at the top of the hour. Yeah, it was been great. I want to ask you real quick before we let you run. And I haven't seen you on Abstract, but and I know you do stream some stuff, right? Because I see you do videos every once in a while on my timeline. What's going? Are you streaming also? Are you gonna? I know you could probably stream on the Abstract channel, but for you personally, are you doing it now?
Yeah, so I don't write this second. I was actually streaming daily. I had a show called Abs Yap, and I am going to be bringing it back as a weekly show, and that's going to be on Mondays, 3 p.m. EST. And I'm starting that in a couple weeks. I also do host 2 spaces weekly. I do Angel Hour on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I have a couple every space. I have like 2 teams of people who are building stuff on Abstract. We talk, it gets weird. I'm usually fucking something up, like, like rugging the space or something, but it's fun and we have a good time. But yeah, other than that, I'm popping into everybody else's stuff, just kind of like kamikaze, showing up in people's streams and spaces. So you can catch me somewhere at any given point in time. But those are my 3 stable horses.
I love it. And where can people find you if they want to follow you?
So on X, I am Daila _onchain. Is it underscore? Sure. Daila onchain on X. I don't use any other socials because honestly, it's enough for me. You find me on X, Discord, and TG like any good DGen. But that's where I live.
Excellent. Want to thank you again. Thank you so much for being here with us and hanging out. We'll be on Abstract. You'll find us there every Tuesday night live. We do also play our shows on replay sometimes, so that way people can catch those shows that they might have missed. So you're definitely you're gonna be on repeat.
Oh fuck.
We're gonna do a 24-hour of just you.
Oh wow, okay. Well, that's 23 and a half hours more than anybody needs, but let's go. Let's do it.
Let's go. Let's pump it up. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
You have a beautiful and blessed night. We'll see you in hopefully we'll meet you in person. I'm sure we will.
You guys going to New York?
That I won't be, but I'm here. I'm in Miami, so I'll be here for Basel. That's for sure.
I have a house in Central Florida, so maybe we'll catch up there. Somewhere in Florida.
Hey, anytime. 100%. I'm totally down. Cookie Rabinowitz, any last words from you, my guy?
Just thank you, Daila, and thank you, Hef. And this was a great show, and I'm glad because I really feel like I got a better understanding. I've been messing around in Abstract, watching Foam Hour, and engaging in some of the shows, but I think I got a clear picture of where it's heading from after this. And also thank you for shaping up the community in there, so we get some great creators in there, and it'll end up being a great thing for everybody. I appreciate it.
No, thank you guys so much. And Cookie, like, please DM me. And that goes for anybody, honestly, ecosystem. Like, DM the team. Like, that's what we get paid to do. Like, we're doing this. So, like, if you guys need something, have quick questions, like even about streamers, if you're trying to stream, message me. The worst I can say is, I don't know, I'm going to ask somebody else. But I want to help people, like, really enjoy this platform. This is what I'm here to do, and I love doing it. So, blow up my DMs. I can cry about it later.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Well,
thank you guys so much.
Awesome. Daila, thank you very much. Cookie Rabinowitz, love you, my dude. I'll see you next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, we have an awesome guest. So real quick, everybody, we do the show normally from 8:30 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But next week, we have a special guest that's overseas. So our show is going to be at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. And it's none other than OSF from Rec Brands, Rec Drinks, Rec Guy. So we're so excited to have him on the show as well. It's been just a banger after banger. So Daila, thank you again. Cookie, thank you again.
Everybody raise the can. She's got the hat
The
too.
hand. I got the hat too.
Yeah, we made your flyer to match abstract. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome. Love it.
All right.
Love
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you
see
guys so
next week.
much. Thanks,
Peace.
guys. Bye.
Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Just Riffin. Tuesday night, 8:30 EST. Know where we be. Just Riffin. Special guest and tech and talk. A musicology. Just Riffin. Coming to you live at the same time. Here every week. Just Riffin. Jump in the room. Let's chop it up. It really ain't that deep. Just Riffin.